Good evening, everyone. This is Cassie again. I am here tonight to do a very quick book review. This is called, let me zoom out here. It's actually called Girls and Sex. This is by Peggy Orenstein, and this book I feel like everybody should read. It is very important. It talks a lot about I don't even know where to begin. There's so many different topics. It talks about rape culture. It talks about how women are viewed in society, both by male and female, how sexuality is reviewed, and what women are taught about sex. Dudes too, but I think this book really resonated with me for a lot of reasons. And I was thinking about it, and in the book, it talks about how one of the many things it talks about that resonate with me is how piss poor sex education is in this country in the U.S. And I it basically for I remember, and it talks about this in the book. It talks about like in the sixth grade, you get education on for girls, it's their period, and they're able to have babies, and that's literally where it stopped. And for dudes, it was like, oh, their testes drop and they're able to produce sperm and they can masturbate, and then it stops there for them. And so it's a very incomplete education. And I'm not saying that's even the responsibility of the school. I really do feel like this is the responsibility of the parents. And unfortunately, and I can speak in my own life, I don't feel like I really got that talk with my own parents. It was more like, you're going to start your period soon and you're going to be able to have a baby, but we never even talked about that. I think even like I think the most the deepest sex education or sex conversation I had with my mom was like when I went to college, or right before I was going to start college. And she was like, well, if you're going to have sex, then use a condom. And that's literally where it ended. And yeah, that was just not good. So it doesn't talk about, like, we don't have these honest, as I don't know, I'm not a parent, so I can't speak about this, but I feel like, why don't we have these conversations with our kids about not just like menstruation? There's so many other things that, yes, there's so many things that need to be talked about and just are not. Like, why didn't I have a conversation about masturbation? Why didn't I ever talk about like what the clitoris is for? Why didn't we ever talk about, like what happens when we get in this mindset of like, I'm just gonna get mine and I don't care how it comes about, and both male and female. But anyways, I just feel like I wish I would have kind of heard those things, um, you know, from my parents. But not everybody is in a place to talk about sex. I actually don't understand. I'm very open about it, but a lot of people are super uncomfortable with talking about this very issue, and that's why we have these problems that we do. That's the first one. Second one, it talks about again how women view their own sexuality and how dudes view their own sexuality. And there's like this constant push and pull with wanting to express oneself in a sexual manner, but having these apprehensions about how society is going to view you, and how other guys are going to view you if you're straight, how guys are going to view you if you don't perform, a sex act on them, or you feel a certain type of way about certain sex acts. And I'm giving a very generic synopsis of it, but that is one of the issues that it talks about, and how sometimes, a lot of the times, especially in college, women fall prey to, I don't even know how to say it. They feel pressured into performing in a sexual manner. They do things that they know that they really didn't want to do, but they were trying to appease. And I do say the word appease, appease their gentleman caller. They don't want them to lose interest. And like I said, I don't mean this to be very boring, but I feel like this is one of those books that I feel like everybody should read. And I very very strongly feel like if I were to ever have a daughter, we would have to have a constant conversation about sexuality and, you know, your body, and you're in control of it. And it just, like, I don't even know how to express it. This book has just hit on so many relevant points in this particular society, excuse me, in this time. And I just want to get it out there that this is just a really good book. So yeah, thank you for listening to this. Those are like the two. I just feel like we just as a society need to start talking about sex. And I don't feel like, and I think we need to get out of this mindset of, oh, if we talk about it. I mean, I think this is more relevant for like families. Like, oh, if I talk to my kids about sex, and they're gonna do it. And it's like, well, you know what? They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it anyways. But at least they have proper information. I'm only shaking my head because I'm thinking of, like, they in the book they give some examples about like how sex education um, has been used for like fear mongering, and completely wrong information has been given to deter people from having sex, and that is just so stupid. Um, but anyways, I highly recommend the book, and thank you for listening to this. Okay, bye.